Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Potato Panda TV here today, and this is my Magic Monday video for the week. And I know I didn't put one out last week, but it was just kind of a busy or busy Monday last week, and I just didn't really have enough time to think of something to put out as far as the video goes. So I didn't put one out last week, and I thought it'd be a better idea to just not put one out than it would be to kind of forced myself to put out something that wasn't really a good video or felt something that felt like really rushed or something. But so again, I apologize for that, not doing the magic video last week. But as you can see, this week decided to buy a Brawl deck, and um it's a fairy scheme. So I think this is was looks like it's Throne of Eldraine, but it doesn't really say exactly that it's from. I don't see anything on here that specifically says it's from Throne of Eldraine, but that's just the color scheme it has on it is Thrones of Eldraine, so that's what I'm assuming most of the cards are from. But this just says as a 60 card Brawl deck. A life wheel, a deck box, and an information insert. And that's the contents that it has. I'm sorry, it's kind of blurry, but or it's got some glare, but I'm not exactly sure what a life wheel is. But and I guess the main reason I bought this was, I guess, just kind of I've never played Brawl, but I've heard it's kind of similar to Commander, except it's just fewer cards. Got 60 cards instead of 100, so I'm not exactly sure if that's the only thing that's different. But and then but I guess I hear from what a lot of people say, and someone I've talked to that's been in Magic for a little while, what a lot of people do is just take the Brawl decks and then take out some of the cards they don't think they'll need, and then put in another 40 cards or whatever it is, then turn it into a commander deck. So I figure that's maybe what I'll do, is kind of do that same thing and just take out the cards I don't like and put some new like flying cards. Um, so yeah, this is just the little information package, and I don't think anybody really wants me to take the time out of here to go through this whole thing. But all the Brawl rules, that's another. It's got 30 life instead of 40 that the commander has. So players start at 30 life in multiplayer Brawl games, and at 25 life in one-on-one. So each player may take up to one free mulligan to 7 cards. If your commander gets countered or would leave the battlefield for any reason, you may choose to put it back in the command zone. You may cast your commander from the command zone as though it were on your hand if you pay an additional 2 colorless for each time you cast it from the command zone. So yeah, that's basically what it is. It's basically for people that don't know, for me or people like me who aren't super familiar with command or with Brawl. Brawl is just basically a commander, except you get 25 life and one versus one, or 30 life in multiplayer, and then you start with 60 cards instead of 100 cards that you'd have in Commander. So, then see if I can get this card out without damaging it, but this is not really. I don't think I did anything to it, but this is the commander I picked out for this, and this camera's kind of. Thought this camera would be a little bit less blurry than the other one, but apparently this one's not very good at close-up distance. A little bit better, but it has flying, death touch, and lifelink. And then Though this card is one colorless, one white, one blue, and one black, and it's a 2/3. And like I said, it has flying, death touch, lifelink, and it other creatures you control flying get a +1/+0. Whenever you cast an artifact or an enchantment spell, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. And it is Alila, Artful Provocateur. She's a legendary creature, and she's a fairy warlock. And I don't know if there's any specific reason why I picked this, decided to go with this commander, but or why I picked the box with this commander. Mostly, I guess, mostly because I kind of like flying creatures, and I always like creature with death touch for some reason, and then it's always, I guess, it's like it said, it's got life link, so it's always nice to get be able to get add on life whenever possible. And I guess if I remember correctly, somebody can correct me in the comments section if I'm wrong, but lifelink is basically anytime if you have a creature with lifelink, every time when it's in your attack phase, every time you however much attack damage you do, you gain that much life. So like if you just I'm just gonna adjust this camera a little bit, but I guess like I said, every time if you gain or if you do like 8 damage one turn, you'd get 8 lives, or if you add 8 lives. So that's, I guess, my understanding of it. So, and there's supposed to be a life wheel, but I don't know exactly what a life wheel is, and I don't remember seeing it, but I guess it's here in the deck box. And this is basically what the deck box I got. Kind of neat looking, and I guess this is just a little divider. And it's got these other little dividers in there for some, I don't know exactly. Just, I guess, to keep, if you have I guess this boxes could go up to 100 cards for a commander deck, and it's just got that little dividers in there in case you'd want to, I guess, only have 60 cards. So this is, I guess this is basically this the life wheel. It's kind of weird. It only goes up to, it goes up to 20 on this side. So it goes 20 life on this side, and then on this side it goes up to, you spin it and it goes up to, it goes from 21 to 40 on this side, and then 1 to 20 on this side. So I mean, it's kind of neat, I guess. I mean, it's a little bit unnecessary when you have a bunch of dice or you have apps and stuff that can keep track of life, but I guess it's nice to have just in those situations where you might have forgotten your dice somewhere, and maybe you're like, there's been times where I've been playing with somebody and their phone went dead, or they were keeping track of life and their phone went dead. So I guess it's always just nice to have as, I guess, like backup. And I don't know why it seems like I always kind of have trouble opening these sometimes, but let's see. I guess I probably won't go through each one of these cards just because there's some land and stuff in here, and I don't know why they don't really like these cards, which is mostly like advertisements and stuff. So Planeswalker Loyalty, I don't really keep those cards. Then we got this is basic white, and since it's white, blue, and black, they gave us some basic white, blue, and black mana or land. They got a white, blue mana. Just basically it adds, when you tap it, it adds blue or white. Sorry, I'm just trying to get that. Try to hard to do that, but then it's got a one of these where it's just a bunch of different designs where you tap it, add 1 mana of any color to your commander's color identity. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color. So it's just basically, since it's kind of hard to see, but it's black, white, and blue. So just add any color, any one of those color mana. I got some black, white, or black and blue dual lands where it's just basically tap them for, and it adds, they go in, but they enter the battlefield tapped, and then when you untap them and tap them again, it adds blue or red mana. And you got these lands where it's Evolving Wilds and Emergent Zone. Emergent Zone, you tap, it adds I forget exactly what's like a diamond shaped thing, and then if you one colorless and you tap, you sacrifice this this land, and then you may cast spells this turn as though they had flash. And then Evolving Wilds, you sacrifice, or you tap, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. And then it's just basically a couple more white-black dual lands where you tap that adds a white or a black mana, and then when this card enters the battlefield, it's adds one, or it goes in tapped, and then when he enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life, and then tap and add a white or black mana. And basically the same thing. You tap it, and when it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life, and then tap it, and it adds a blue or a white mana. So that's basically that's the lands. So I don't want to take a million hours to go over this the lands. And let's see, not sure. Oh, I guess it's just a combination of different sets. So we got Eldraine, Ravnica. Forget which one of the Ravnica Alliance. Core set 2020. War of the Sparks. Ravnica Alliance. So yeah, it's basically mostly looks like it's from the Ravnica sets, War of the Spark, 2020, and Eldraine. So it looks like it's from Eldraine, 2020, and Ravnica, and then War of the Sparks. So let's see. We got trying to just pick out some of the better cards, because I don't, like I said, don't want to take all day going over just kind of basic cards. So got some artifacts. So I got more dual colored lands where if you Temple of Silence, he enters tapped, and enters the battlefield scurry 1, and then add tap and add blue or black. And then Watery Grave, black or blue black mana. If you tap, you add blue or black. And when Watery Grave enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tap. So it's kind of I don't know if you want to pay. If it's worth sacrificing 2 life to have it enter the battlefield untapped. So got a Mace of the Valiant, Shimmer Dragon, probably add that one in because it's got flying. So that's what I'm gonna try. Maybe one of these days work on a flying, or maybe a flying commander deck. Um, yeah, just trying to see if there's anything that looks decent in here. Let's see, Menace. Yeah. I got Chaos Wrath, a sorcery, destroy all creatures, and gain life to equal to the number of creatures you control that were destroyed this turn. So I mean that could kind of be a good card, but kind of a crappy card too, because you have to destroy all creatures, and then but I mean depending on how many, if you only had a couple of creatures out, but somebody out, or you're playing against two or three other people, and both of them had like 4 or 5 creatures out, it could give you a decent amount of life. And there's another, where it's a fairy, so another creature with flying, so I could use that. And just, corridor monitor, that's when he enters the battlefield, untap target artifact or creature you control. Frog Lily doesn't look like it has anything too special. When Witching Well enters the battlefield, scurry 2. Then if you have 3 colorless and 1 blue, sacrifice Witching Well, draw 2 cards. So it's an artifact. Shine Chaser. Vigilance. Shine caster gets +1/+1 as long as you control an artifact. And he also gets 1/+1/+1 as long as you control an enchantment. So I guess he's a 1/1, but I guess he could go up to a 3/3 if you control an artifact and an enchantment. Oops, the daisy. Almost dropped that card. Arcanist Owl. Angelic Exaltation. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So I guess that could be a decent card. It's, like I said, it's a kind of high mana, where it's 3 colorless and 1 white, but it's only until end of turn, so it kind of sucks too. But it's a number of creatures you control, so you want to use it, I guess, probably more towards the end of the hand, or where you got several rounds gone into, where you can add, where you have 6 or 7 creatures out. Ancestral Blade. When he enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier token, and then attach this to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Equip 1 colorless attack of target creature control. Equip it. Blah, blah, blah. Convoke Conclave Tribunal. Nothing special with that card. Prison Realm. When Prison Realm enters the battlefield, exile target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until Prison Realm leaves the battlefield. When he enters the battlefield, scurry 1. For scurry, I believe, is you just look at the top card of your library and then put it back down. Chemister's Insight. Draw 2 cards. Jumpstart. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discharging a card in addition to paying your other cost, then exile this card. I don't know if that sounds like a very good card. It's Mana Geode. artifact when this enters the battlefield. Scurry 1. Tap, add mana of any color. This winged words. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. Draw 2 cards. And blood-soaked altar. If you tap, you pay 2 life. Discard a card. Sacrifice a creature. Create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. Then activate this ability only any time you would cast a sorcery. And Law Mage's Binding. He has Flash. No, it's an enchantment. Flash. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. So I guess I don't know if that's something you'd put on an opponent's card. Mortify. That's destroy target creatures or enchantment. So I don't know if that means ever. It's destroy target creature. So I thought it's a destroy target creatures. So I thought that was something where you destroy all of your opponent's creatures, but it's just one creature. Empyrean Eagle, flying. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. And then we got some artifacts. As Heraldic Banner enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creatures you control the chosen color get +1/+1. Tap, add 1 mana of the chosen color. So that could be, I guess, a decent card. Shambling Suit artifact. His power is equal to the number of artifacts and or enchantments you control. So, I mean, that could be, I guess, decent if you had a bunch of artifacts or whatever. Scrambling Claws is an artifact. You tap, target player exiles a card from their graveyard. With 1 colorless, sacrifice this card, exile target card from a graveyard, draw a card. When Guild Globe enters the battlefield, draw a card. With 2 colors, sacrifice this card, add 2 mana of any color. And Bag of Holding. Whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. 2 colors, tap, draw a card, then discard a card. With 4 colors, tap, sacrifice Bag of Holding, return all cards exiled with Bag of Hoarding to their owner's hand. And 2 more cards left, so when Golden Egg enters the battlefield, draw a card, tap, or with 1 colorless tap, sacrifice, add 1 mana of any color, 2 colorless tap, you gain 3 life, then you sacrifice and you gain 3 life. And the last card is Arcane Signet. Artifact, you tap, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. So that's basically all you get. There's nothing too much to these commander decks, but you get a decent kind of neat little, I don't know how often you'd use it, but you get this little life or tracker thing, or what, life wheel, and then you get, I kind of like this commander. It's nothing special. But it's kind of like I said, kind of like Death Touch and Life Link, and then flying helps a lot, I guess, too, because not a lot of people always have a lot of flying creatures, so I guess that could come to have some benefit to it, but appreciate everybody taking the time to stop by, and like always, I hope to see you next time.